Welcome to another verbling pronunciation class. My name is Simon Yates, and I'll be your teacher for this hour. We're going to go over the ed suffix. It has three different sounds: the voiced and unvoiced T and D, and the id sound. Three different sounds for one suffix. It's important to get these right because the ed helps make the past participle of many verbs. We can't really talk about past tense without it. Welcome, Giancarlo. Natafon, hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. Where are you from, Natafon?
I'm from Thailand.
Well, good morning to you.
Yeah. Thank
What's
you.
the weather like this morning?
It's very hot.
Yes,
Yes.
I bet it is. I miss the heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hot here at all.
Oh, where you from, teacher?
Canada.
Oh, weather is maybe cold, right?
Yes, it is. Very cold compared to where you are.
Oh.
So welcome to my class. You haven't been to my class before.
Yes.
Well, we're going to focus on the ed suffix today, which has three different sounds.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get started shortly. Let's see who else has joined us in the room. Giancarlo. All right, so Giancarlo's microphone doesn't seem to be working. So we're going to use Google Drive. So Natafon, if you want to go to Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So can you go to Google Drive, please?
Go to Google Drive.
Yep, Google Drive.
Because I using which the iPad
You're using an iPad?
Yeah, can I go?
No, it won't work. So unfortunately, I won't be able to. You won't be able to see the entire lesson.
Yes. It is first class for me. No, not for me. It's first class for pronunciation with you.
Yeah. Well, problem with iPads is they don't allow you to be able to. Well, I don't think it allows you to be able to use Google Drive at the same time. It's different than on a computer.
I think so.
Yeah. So that's okay. We'll do our best. I use the class notes of Google Drive because it allows you and other students to be able to see what I'm typing, for me to be able to give you lessons, to record my lectures. So in the future, if you join my classes, I do recommend using a computer.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, so, we've got somebody else just joined. Ruben. Hello, Ruben. Where are you from, Ruben? Okay, so Natafon,
Hello.
let's take a look at the three different sounds that make up the ed suffix. What are those three sounds, Natafon?
T sound.
That's one.
Which one do you, what? Excuse me? The ED
Sorry,
sound?
just a minute, please. I'm just talking to Natafon.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, just a minute, please. I'm just talking to Natafon.
Okay.
Okay.
So that
teacher, I just seen your. I just not see the text, right? But I just see your face.
Okay, so the question was, what are the three sounds that make up the ed suffix?
Make up ed what?
Suffix.
Ed suffix.
Yes. There are T sound.
Just a minute, please. One student at a time.
Ed sound.
No, the ed suffix. There's three sounds.
ED sound. Maybe pre.
The T, yeah. What
Yeah.
else?
And
E and D.
pre. I I know just only that.
Just the T. So you only know the T sound for the ed suffix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe you.
What?
Well, how do you put words in the past tense? How think of a couple of words that you put in the past tense and how they sound.
The ED.
Yeah.
Right.
So how would you? Can you think of a word?
Like watch. The.
Watched. Okay.
Yeah.
What about end?
And. Yes.
How would you say that in the past?
For what word?
End.
And. How to. Can you repeat me again? I don't understand.
Okay. What don't you understand?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let me move on to Giancarlo. Giancarlo, are you there?
Yes, teacher, I'm sorry, I had a phone call, but I'm here now. I am listening to your question, and yes, of course, we have three different pronunciations. The first one is T, the second one is ED, and the next one is D.
Yes. Well, it's not ID. It's more id, right?
Right.
Id and d. Those are the three
And
different sounds. So the d sound, okay, it's voiced. We put our fingers to our throat. We make the d sound. We can feel our vocal folds vibrating. The t sound, there's no vibration. Okay? So we say, so go ahead and put your fingers to your throat and say t, 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 t. You don't feel any vibration. Now, d, d, d. Very good. And the other sound is id. 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 Very good.
Id.
So now what we want to do is look at a couple of words. And I've got a bunch of them here. I'm going to paste them in Google Drive. Let's see. Let's make that a little bigger. And change it to black. Okay, so Giancarlo, what's the first word?
The first one, let me check the Google Drive. Let me open it. Just wait a second, please.
And keep in mind, guys, Google Drive will be used in every class, so always open it up when you come to class. First word.
The first word is ended.
Okay. Ruben, what's the second word?
Teacher, I cannot see the link. Did you send it where? In the public chat or there?
Go to Google Drive and click on class notes.
Okay, let me see class notes.
Giancarlo, what's the second word?
The second one.
Oh, expected.
Expected. Okay. What's the root of the first word?
End.
Okay. And the last letter is what?
ED.
No, the last letter.
D.
Yeah.
D.
Okay. And the second word, what's the root of the second word?
Expect.
And the last letter in that word?
D.
Really?
But it's T. Expected.
Yeah.
No, it's D.
Well, okay, let me make sure I'm on the same page here. What is the last letter of the word expect?
T sound.
ID.
Really?
It's a T sound. T.
No, what is the last letter? There's no sound. I'm just asking. letter.
Expected.
What's the last letter?
That sounds the E.
No. Okay,
I don't know what
Nataphone.
last letter,
Nataphone.
but
Let me
I
go to
think
see if Nataphone can get it. Nataphone.
Mm-hmm.
The word expected.
The word expected.
No, expected.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what's the root of the word expected?
What do oh
expect.
Guys,
Fix.
please don't do that. When I'm talking to a student and asking that student a question, please don't throw out the answer. It's not fair.
maybe X. Is it or not?
No, it's not X. X is not a word.
Oh.
It's a E sound.
Is this X?
Okay, so expected, what do you
Yes.
think the root of that word is?
The root. The root maybe Pect. P-E-C-T, right?
No, there's no such word as, I don't think there's a word called pact.
Oh,
Not that way.
Oh.
Giancarlo, see, I'm surprised none of you are getting this correct. Giancarlo.
Well, the first one, the pronunciation of the first one is ended. The second one is
Okay, hold on. Sorry, let me repeat the question again. What is the root of the word expected?
expect.
Okay, and what is the last letter of that word?
The last letter, the consonant is D.
Nope, that is not correct. All right, let's Eslam. Hello, Eslam. Okay, he's not there. Ruben.
Yes.
Okay, the word is expected. What is the root of that word?
The root
Yeah.
is X. Is a E sound. Expect.
Okay, expect. And what is the last letter of that word?
T.
Yeah, T. Okay. Now invited. What is the root of that?
Invite.
Okay. Invite.
Yes.
And what is the last consonant of that word?
The last consonant, T sound. T.
Okay. Printed. Islam. What is the root of the word printed? Okay. Nataphon. What is the root of the word printed?
Printed. Print.
Print. Okay.
Yes.
And what is the last consonant of that word?
Consonant T.
Yeah. All right, let's look at another one. The word wounded. Okay, Nataphone, what is the root of the word wounded?
Again, please.
What is the root of the word wounded?
R-O, right?
No, sorry. Ruben, what is the root of the word wounded?
Wound.
Wound, and the last consonant of that word?
D.
You guys noticing a pattern here?
Yes, all of them ends with a D or a T sound.
Right, so the id sound is used when the ed suffix has a T or D in the root word. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's see here. How do you say the word lasted, Ruben? I just, sorry, I'm doing it wrong. I already said it for you. Okay, so I'm going to highlight a word, and I want you to say it. Okay, Ruben?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, that word.
Interested.
Interested. Very good. And this one.
Painted.
Very good. Nataphone, I'm going to paste the word in the group chat since you can't. Oh, he's not there. Eslam, this word, please.
What?
Could you say this word, please?
Where's the word?
Are you in Google Drive?
I'm sorry, where's the word?
Could you go in
Where
Google
is the
Drive, please? Tell you what, let me know when you're at Google Drive. Let me go to Giancarlo. Giancarlo, what is that? How do you say this word here?
Reported.
Report.
Oh, well, reported.
Reported. Very good. And this word?
Started.
Very good. They all have that id sound. Graded, toasted, tasted. They all have the id sound because the root word ends in a T or a D, or the final consonant in that root ends with a T or D. Okay? Let's take a look at the next sound. Okay, we're going to look at the voiced D sound.
Teacher,
Got some words here too. Just change the text.
teacher,
Yes?
excuse me, the sound is with E or E sound.
What are you talking about?
Is ended or ended?
Id. So take a look, as you can see here, at the very top of the lesson plan, I've got the three sounds that the ed suffix has.
Okay.
Okay, and we're going through all of them. You've just come in late, so we're moving on to the second sound. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's look at these words here. Ruben, what is that word there?
Open, open.
Say it one more time, please.
Open.
No, you're missing a certain sound.
Opened.
Yes, very good. And this word?
Learned.
Close, close.
Learned.
Close. Giancarlo, could you say this word, please?
Yeah. Closed.
No.
Which one, teacher? Sorry.
The one that's highlighted.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Realized.
Very good. And this one?
Breathed.
Close. How about this one?
Breathe. Changed.
Close. Very good. Very good. Eslam, are you in the Google Drive now?
I'm trying.
Okay. All these words here have the same sound. Okay? They have the D sound, the voiced D, D. Okay? Opened, learned, realized, breathed, changed. Right? It's that D sound.
Yeah. Rolled. Arrived.
Let's take a look at the root words, guys. So the first one, what is the root word of opened?
Opened.
Very good. Learned.
Learn.
And the final consonant in that one?
N.
Very good. And Ruben, what is the root of realized?
Realize.
Okay. And the root, or the final consonant?
The final consonant is the Z sound.
Yeah, it's a Z. Very good. Now what about changed?
Is the G sound.
Is it? What's the root?
Oh, it's change.
Okay. And the final consonant?
It's the G sound.
Well, this looks a little more complicated than the first one, doesn't it?
Is it? Yes, it does.
Okay, let's go for another one. Giancarlo, rolled. What is the root of that word?
Roll.
Okay, and the final consonant?
L.
Wow, it's getting even more complicated, isn't it?
Mhm.
All right. What about played?
Play.
Final consonant?
Y.
This is not fun. Well, they can't be that many, can there? What about climbed? What's the root there?
Who's that one?
Ruben, what's the root of climbed?
Climb.
Final consonant?
B sound. B.
Yeah. Guys, is this easy to remember, all the different roots that have the D sound?
There are 3, 4, 5, 6
Oh, there's more.
more.
There's 9.
9. Which we missing? What are we missing? Because M, Z, G, L, Y, B.
Well, let me show them to you. Here we go.
Oh.
So, the D sound uses B, G, L, M, N, R, V, Z, and the TH.
Death. Mm-hmm.
I can't spell tonight. Okay, so if the final consonant, Eslam, welcome. Glad to see you in there now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so it's very easy. Let's go back to the first one. So I'm moving up to number 1. I'm going to highlight it. If we look at the first example, words that have T or D as the final consonant in the root word, it's easy. It's id. There's a lot of those. It's very simple. However, when it comes to the voiced D sound, wow, there's a good 6 or 8 of them. I think there's 8. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
That is it.
So it's a lot harder. Now, the reason why I use Google Drive for my class notes is when we come across lessons like this, where we only have 3 different sounds, but we have so many things you have to remember, such as how many different root words have the D sound. Well, you can copy it and you can practice it later. All right, so let's go on to the third version. Okay, now let me grab the final group of words. These are all T sound. Islam, could you say this first word, please?
The first word?
Yeah, remember I'm on the second page now, so what could you say that first word that's highlighted?
Constance? Sorry. Yes. Looked.
Very good. And what is the root of looked? What is the
K.
root of, no, what is the root word of looked? Do you know what a root word is?
D, I think.
Okay, so what is the root of the word looked?
Sorry. What's the meaning of the roots? Roots?
Root.
Yes. Look. Look. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Excellent. And the final consonant of that root word?
K.
Yeah, K. Very good. What about this word, Islam? Could you say that, please?
Walked.
Very good. Good pronunciation. And what is the root of that word?
Walk.
Final consonant?
K.
Yeah. Looking pretty easy so far, isn't it? All right. Faisal. Faisal, hello.
Yeah, hello teacher. Sorry I'm late.
That's okay. Glad you could make it. We're in Google Drive. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
You can see me.
there you
You
are.
can see me.
You're in the right place. So the word I have highlighted, could you say that for me, please?
Okay. Past.
Perfect pronunciation. What is the root of the word past?
As.
Sorry, no, the root word of the word past.
I don't know what is root word.
Okay, so root word, that is when we take away any prefixes or suffixes, right?
Mm.
So, for example, look at the other two examples up here. I asked for the root of the word looked, and it's look. Walked, it's walk.
Or pass.
Yeah, very good. And the final consonant of the root word?
Pass. Pass.
No, sorry. The final consonant of the root word.
As.
What do you know what I mean by consonant?
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, so the final consonant is a
Yeah, final consonant is S.
yes, very good. S. Okay, and this word, please, Faisal.
Okay. Stop.
Okay, the root word is
Stop.
very good, and the final consonant this time is
Per.
P.
P. Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking for the letter. You don't have to you don't have to give me the sound. Okay, very good. Giancarlo, could you say this word, please?
Yeah. Mixed.
And the root of that word is
Mix.
final consonant.
X.
Excellent. What about this word?
Push.
Okay. And the root?
Push.
Oh, this is not looking like fun. Okay, and this word, Ruben?
Watched.
Excellent pronunciation. The root word?
It's watched.
Fine. Oh, well, I'm not asking for the consonant in this case. What do you think I'm looking for?
The consonant is the CH sound.
Yeah, I'm looking for the CH. It's not the final consonant here. It's those two final
H.
consonants together.
Okay.
Okay, as you can guess, once again, this is sad, but the unvoiced t sound has a lot of suffixes. Okay? So, when the root word ends with these suffixes and more, I'm going to show you which ones they are right here. I wish when I pasted from my document, I wouldn't have to reformat every time, but that's okay. So when the root word ends in F, K, P, S, X, CH, TH, and SH, we pronounce the suffix ed with the voiceless t. Okay?
Yeah, excuse me, teacher. I have a question.
Yes, Giancarlo.
In the previous how do you say that?
Example?
Well, in the previous example, in the previous you mentioned that when the verb ends in G, the final pronunciation is D. What about loved here in this case, because it is pronounced like T, loved. But why is that? What is the reason that we have to pronounce loved and not loved or laughed? Loved.
That's a good one, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and it is the t sound, the voiceless, right, for laughed. That's a very good question. I can go, there's so many different exceptions in English. I can go into a long story, but essentially it's an F sound. The GH comes across as an F sound. Okay? So even though it's a GH, right? Okay. Even though it's a, oh, I typed that in the wrong place. Let me go to the bottom of the document. Even though it's a GH, which, if you notice, in all the examples that I've given you, we're not talking about any words that end with an H, right? So if it ends with a GH, we consider it to be an F.
Okay, yeah, because we have GH and it changes into F, right, teacher?
Yes, in English. There may be other exceptions to this. I just can't think of any right now. But whenever there's a GH, we generally say F. So it sounds like an F, so that's why when we're talking about, and you can see right here in the example I gave you, when words end with an F, or they sound like an F, we would use the T sound.
Okay,
Giancarlo,
I got it.
you get a gold star for that one. I had to think about that for a minute. Okay, so what I want to do now with the rest of the class, I want to practice these sounds with you. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each example and I'm going to click on the words and I want you to tell me, or I want you to pronounce them for me. Okay, so everybody go to the top of the document. Okay, I'll start with Ruben. This word, please.
Landed.
Landed, very good. This word.
Wounded.
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 Okay, and this is going to be a bit of a pronunciation class at this point too, because I'll move it close so you can see how my lips move. Right, Giancarlo, this word.
Fainted.
Very good, fainted. And this word here.
Started.
Very good. Facial, that word.
Where are you?
Sorry, the very top of the document.
Oh, okay. Sounded.
Very good. And this word.
Me, decided.
Thank you. And this word here, Islam.
Objected.
And this one.
Twisted.
Yeah, not very hard, are they? So the suffix ed, when it has a T or a D in the root word as the final consonant, has an id sound. Okay, let's go down to example number 2. Okay, I'll highlight that area. Okay. Right, this time I'll start with Eslam. This word, please, Eslam.
Married.
Married.
Yes.
Say again, please. Married.
Married.
Very good. And this word here?
Studied.
Studied. Studied. One more time, please.
Studied.
Very good. Facial, this word, please.
Tried.
Tried. Very good. And this word.
Wow. Rubbed.
Very good. Now, one thing, guys, whenever you're speaking, don't try to say it really fast. What tends to happen when you speak very fast is the consonants and the vowels sort of just get crammed together, and it makes it harder for people to understand you. Now, here's the thing. Most of the times when you're speaking English, you're not doing it with native English speakers alone. Even if you're living in Canada or the United States, many of the people you'll be working with are from other countries. So the clearer you can say your words, the more people will understand you. So don't try to rush through them. Okay?
Don't try the what, teacher?
Don't try to rush through your words.
What is rush? Is to...
Rush, so if I was to rush through, I would say it like this: rubbed, lived, shaved, skilled. I'm speaking fast. I'm rushing through them.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay? More like shaved, lived, rubbed. Now, we'll do some examples where we speak in sentences in a little bit, so you can see how that's not always true. When we speak in sentences, we soften the ending consonant to the beginning of the next word. Thank you for coming, Eslam. Okay, so let's see, Giancarlo, this word.
Shaved.
Very good. And this word, please, Ruben.
Scored.
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 Okay, very good. All right, so I'm going to erase these root words here because we've already summed that up. I'm going to make some quick sentences. Oh, let's just keep it simple. All right, Facial, could you say that sentence, please?
He grabbed and moved the television.
Okay, very good. Your pronunciation of the words is perfect. However, in a sentence, we can soften them a little bit. For example, he grabbed and moved the television.
Grabbed and moved.
Right? Okay. Now, if I was with my friends, I might even be more casual, and I might say, he grabbed and moved the television. Okay, we get a little lazy when we're in a friends, but if we're speaking in a company, he grabbed and moved the television. As soon as I finish the D, I move on to the A sound. Grabbed and moved. Smooth. It's all about flow, right?
Grabbed and moved.
It sounds like Brada. Something.
Grabbed.
Grabbed and moved.
Grabbed down. Grabbed down.
Oh,
Okay. See, it's just like your language. If you listen to somebody speak, you don't have pauses between each word or syllable. You just flow. It's one continuous sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you ever record yourself and play it on a computer, you can see that the sound is constant. Okay, he's still. Okay, that's a long sentence, but I know, Giancarlo, you can handle it.
He stuffed the turkey and tried to eat all in one sitting.
Oh, hold on. To eat. Okay, good. He
To
stuffed
eat
the
it.
turkey and tried to eat it all in one sitting.
Okay. May I try again, teacher?
Sure, please go ahead.
He stuffed the turkey and tried to eat it all in one sitting.
Excellent. Okay, the last sentence. Ruben.
Okay. They viewed the robber as they drove to the store.
Okay, good. Let's try that a little differently now. Okay, they viewed the robber as he robbed the store.
Robbed the store. They viewed the robber as he robbed the store.
Very good. Giancarlo, why don't you try that?
Yeah. They viewed the robber as he robbed the store.
Thank you. Facial.
They viewed the robber as the rabbit robbed the store.
Very good. He climbed the mountain and cleaned his shoes. Facial.
He climbed a mountain.
I just made that one up.
He. Oh, okay.
Mountain.
Hi.
Do you guys have any questions so far?
Teacher, a doubt about is mountain or mountain with
Okay,
because I
it
think
should
I
be
heard
mountain.
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 Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now you'll hear a lot of people from Canada and the U.S. They'll say it this way: mountain.
Mm-hmm. Like that. I've heard it.
It's lazy. I hate it.
But the must is that you have to pronounce mountain.
Well, let me ask you this, Ruben. What language do you speak? What's your native language?
My native language is Zapoteco.
Sorry?
Zapoteco is indigenous idiom.
Okay.
But I love Spanish.
Okay, so Spanish. So you speak with a Spanish accent when you're speaking English, right?
Yes.
So now I want you to say mountain.
Mountain.
No, not mountain. Mountain.
Mountain.
Okay. Now, if I say mountain and I'm speaking in English to other English speakers, they're going to know I mean mountain and they're going to hear mountain. But because you're speaking with a Spanish accent, you say mountain, it sounds slightly different. They'll think, oh, what is he saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's more important that when you're learning English, to speak it clearer than even us native English speakers, because your accent alters how we hear. Plus, Giancarlo, what language do you speak? Giancarlo, what language do you speak? Okay. Faisal, what language do you speak?
Bahasa Indonesia.
Okay. So it's different than Spanish, right?
Yeah. But
Now, if I say mountain, you're going to understand me. Now, if I say mountain, you'll probably understand me too. But if Ruben says mountain with his accent, do you think it might be more difficult for you to hear it from him or from me?
I easily hear that from you. Actually.
And why do you think that is?
Because I'm hard. Actually, I'm really hard to hear the a native speaker speaking, such like us, ESL learner, and then yeah, it's difficult to hear. That's it.
Okay, let's go to the bottom of the document, guys. I want to show you something. Okay, when we talk about standard English, which could be standard BBC or North American English, it has a certain sound. Okay? Has a certain structure to how people say things. And if I speak with a standard BBC or North American English, any other English country in the world will understand me no problem. I can go to Kentucky, into the mountains, and people will understand me. I can go to Australia or New Zealand, and they will understand me. Into Boston, up into the north of England, they will understand me. Now, if I take somebody from the mountains of Scotland and bring them down into Kentucky, the people from Kentucky won't understand that person. Okay? So on a scale of 0 to 10, think of standard English as a 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody from Scotland will speak at maybe a very different sound, and think of it as a 1. And somebody from Kentucky would be at a completely different sound, more like a 9. They might speak from the
Oh my God, I'm missing.
Oh.
oops.
You are twice.
I hit the wrong button. Okay, so really what I'm trying to show here is the reason why you can all understand me is I speak in a very common dialect that anybody in the English-speaking world can understand. But when you go to remote areas where it's a very localized sound, once you start to move away from that area, people don't understand very well. Okay? So that is why it's very important to speak very clearly when you speak English, because you're already coming across with a different accent. Okay? This
Yes.
will help you. It'll help people understand you. And as Faisal just said, well, you'll understand each other better because quite often you're speaking with one accent, like a Spanish, and somebody else might be speaking with an Islamic accent. The clearer you both are, the better you'll understand each other. And that's really what I'm trying to say. Okay, we've got about 10 minutes left. I want to use the rest of the time for questions. Faisal.
Yeah.
You can ask me any question you want. It can be related to today's topic, or it can be other words you want help with speaking.
Maybe how we can speak clearly.
Okay. That's actually a very simple answer to that question, but it involves a lot of work. So one, how can we speak clearly? Okay. There's lots of answers. Well, one of the first things we can do is we can practice a lot. Okay? Practice speaking. Come to class twice a day if you can. It'll help. I'm teaching. I try to teach twice a day, but come to class quite often. Okay. You can also listen to podcasts. Okay. Watch documentaries. Okay. I don't recommend watching movies. Why do you think I don't recommend watching movies?
Because they speak very informal or maybe very fast.
Yep.
And that's why it's difficult to understand them.
Bingo. You have different dialects, accents, slang,
Yes.
idioms. The point of a movie is to make money, to make something appealing and attractive. Forget those. They're fun. Documentaries, though, are written at a higher reading level. Their grammar is better. They speak at a slower pace so that they can be understood more. And they don't have slang. They have hosts or presenters that can speak in a very clear manner. Okay? So they're really good. But if you're going to listen to documentaries, though, every now and then pause, stop, try to say some of the things they have said. Okay? Maybe turn subtitles on so you can see the words. Pause it and repeat those words.
Yeah. You know, teacher, I'd like to tell you something about my speaking.
Go ahead, please.
Okay, well, I've been studying English for maybe three years ago,
Yeah.
and of course, the worst part of my speaking is about slangs and phrasal verbs, teacher, because here in Mexico they are not common. I consider that when a person speak, I mean, uses or uses slangs and phrasal verbs, it is because the person should live in the American country, in an American country, or in an English-speaking country. Because here in Mexico we speak Spanish, and most of the time it's a little bit hard to use phrasal verbs, idioms, slangs. What do you think about that?
Okay, well, you've asked a lot of things here, so two. Okay, what about slang and phrasal verbs? Let me first go up to conclude the question, how can I speak clearly? You can also have hangouts together. You don't need a teacher there, and this doesn't cost you any money. Practice with each other. What I recommend is maybe have one of those documentaries. Maybe it's something on YouTube. It has a lot of documentaries on YouTube. Have a 5-minute clip and practice it with each other. Play the clip for a few sentences, and then say it and take turns. Okay? You can also have private lessons if you're trying to focus on certain sounds or a certain slang. Find a good private tutor and have them just help you. Maybe once a week if you can afford it, otherwise once every 2 weeks. So what about slang and phrasal verbs? I'll be honest with you, I don't understand every joke coming out of the US. Some of it's based on popular culture or politics, and if I don't know the person, I don't find it funny. I don't care. I do know that they're talking about somebody that is not common to me, but I don't care. If you want to understand popular American culture, one thing you can do is watch TV. A lot of the sitcoms, a lot of the TV shows, not just sitcoms, but 1-hour docudramas or dramas, will have a lot of common or popular slang. Okay.
Okay.
Also, having casual conversations with native English speakers. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Because, you know, and here's the thing you got to watch out for. Who do you want to sound like? Do you want to be able to speak English well to just your average person who speaks at maybe a grade 5 reading level? Or do you want to speak to somebody in a business setting or in a college or university level where people speak more at a grade 8 or grade 12 reading level? That does not mean their education's at a grade 8 or grade 12. It means it's a reading level, right? Even myself, I rarely talk at a grade 12 level. Usually it's around grade 5 to 8. Know your audience. Know the type of English you want to speak and focus your time and effort there. You can watch YouTube as well, because it has a lot of videos, common popular culture documentaries, having hangout sessions with other English speakers. Now, it can be tough because unless you got a skill or some interest that they want to join you on a hangout and spend an hour of their time or half an hour, what can you offer? Well, do you do web programming or other skills, or could you teach another language that might encourage an English speaker to want to have a free hangout with you? Otherwise, again, you can hire a private tutor to help you. Right?
Yeah, right.
Like I have one student who's from Brazil, and most of the time we just talk about family, children, school. I correct him on his pronunciation, but for him, he wants to speak more fluently. Like Giancarlo, you speak English quite confidently.
Oh, thank you.
You're very good. I can carry on a conversation with you. So you want to know the slang, but I also imagine you want to increase your vocabulary as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to improve my vocabulary and increase vocabulary. You know, teacher, most of the time I've been trying to speak a polite language because I've been studying and learning English in schools and universities here in Mexico. I was just once in Texas some years ago, and it was a nice experience for me. But most of my language, most of my learning, was I got the learning here in Mexico. I mean, I learned all my English in Mexico with Mexican teachers and sometimes with American teachers here
It's
in
very
Mexico.
good. I'll be honest with you, it is very good. And when I hear you speak, I can tell you're a non-native speaker because some of the words you choose. It's not how a native English speaker would speak. Really, you've heard this before, practice, practice, practice. Do you have a monthly account with Verbling, or do you sign up for like a 10-pack of classes?
No, I just how do you say? When I have the time, I just reserve a session, or maybe I just select the classes I like to take every single day. Sometimes I can't because of my job, and sometimes when I see an interesting class or a topic that I am interested in, I take the classes here in Berlin. And to be honest, teacher, Berlin is a very great tool for a person like me speak English, because here in Berlin I can meet people from countries like you, the American teachers, British, Australian teachers, Canadian teachers, and it's great because here in Mexico the people speak Spanish, and sometimes I have to take classes with American teachers,
Well,
but here in Berlin
stop
most of
you
the time
because
I
here's
speak
something else.
English.
I've seen you in my class several times. Notice whenever I'll ask a question and it's an open question any student can answer, that is your opportunity to speak up, practice more. Don't wait for the teacher to ask you. If a teacher like myself says, anyone who can answer this question, volunteer, have some sort of answer ready. The more you speak, the better you'll get. I have students who will come to class and never speak unless I ask them. They're not getting the benefit of their money. But if you can, and watch this on Verbally, some teachers offer discounts if you get 5 or more classes. Unlike other sites that I've been to, you have to get like 10 or more. If you just book a 5-pack of private lessons, you can get them for as low as 10, no, not 10, 15 or $20 per session. And here's what I want you to think about. Think of, if I had a private session once a week with a native English speaker, what do I want to do? What do I want to get out of that? Then, if you think it's realistic, sign up for 5 classes and see if it makes a difference. Wait a month. If you notice a difference, then that might be worth putting the money into. It's just something to think of.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. But class is now over and I want to get up to spend time with my family. I am back here again tomorrow. Let me just see what classes I have tomorrow. And guys, I'm always going to have the Google Drive class notes set up, so it gives you a bit more. You can take today's lesson, you can follow along later, you can rewatch the class, and you've got the lesson plan there. So it will help you. It's a good benefit. So tomorrow I have academic English, and I have describe what you see. These are both very, very fun classes. You get to do a lot of work. You will practice speaking, reading, listening, pronunciation, and comprehension in both of these classes. You get to do a lot of work, and there's also a chance for a lot of conversation.
Excellent. Excellent, teacher. Thanks so much.
Everybody, Faisal, Giancarlo, Ruben, have yourself a good evening, okay?
So do you, teacher.
Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Good night.